In regards to what's working for collecting the feedback, I'd say having.
It's most convenient for me to just pull it up on my phone. And I think more convenient for everybody that I'm asking to, because I just have it right there. And so I always have it on me. So that's the easiest way to collect them, I guess.
So having a scannable barcode that's available, like on your badge, has been amazingly helpful. It's a lot less awkward to approach a family looking for feedback, saying, hey, all you gotta do is just hold your phone up to this.
And I also actually created a Z link on the UMN website that was something easy to remember, so that I could just write it down or give it to whoever filled it out in case they didn't use the QR code or in case the QR code didn't work. I think that was the thing that probably made the biggest difference in terms of just being prepared to ask for it.
The easiest way for me to do it, and then I don't have to think about it very often, is when I'm on nights, is when I tend to interact most with like the nursing staff and RTs and people when I'm the one on the floor and I'm the main person talking to them, instead of a whole big team having a big conversation. And so I find that those are the people that know me the best and are able to give the best feedback.
So the way in which I usually approached it to the night team was I would tell the nurse, hey, we're all learners here, and I would like to get some feedback from you so that I can continue learning. Would you be willing to fill out this quick survey on how our last interaction went?
I know for some of the nurses too, I actually printed them out and would just leave them on their station after I asked, so that if they forgot or if they just had a bunch of stuff going on and couldn't scan it right away, that was really helpful too. And I just kind of wrote down the Z link under it as well.
The nursing staff is really excited. So when I started asking the NICU nurses, they were like, oh my gosh, this is a great opportunity for us to feel like we can have our voices heard about getting to give you guys the praise that we want to, or also it gives us a tool to be able to give us ways that we think that you could be more helpful in the NICU. And so the nursing staff that I've talked to is super excited about this tool. So don't be afraid to ask them. People are excited to be able to give us feedback.
Most families that I've approached have been more than happy and almost excited to give feedback, because they've seen what good feedback can do. They've had good experiences from residents, and I think a lot of it comes from the coaching that we get in the program.
Yeah, so I think I asked 2 or 3 parents while I was in the NICU. And again, it was just parents that I felt like I developed a really good relationship with. And I said, we have to get feedback from parents. Would you mind filling out the survey? And then I also said, I'm also happy to chat about things that you think that I could have done better, if any of them come to mind, while you're here as well. And I think most parents are really receptive to doing it, because it helps future patients, right? So I feel like they are happy to be asked to give feedback and give their input on kind of what went on while we were taking care of their kids.
I'd say if you feel like you're struggling to either get the motivation to collect the feedback, or you just don't feel like you've ever found a moment where it's comfortable to ask for feedback, I think a really good opportunity then too is to ask the senior, to ask another peer that you're with, what's working for them, or to almost go with them. I know as an intern that sometimes having my senior with me, it sometimes may feel a little awkward, but having them in the room to kind of be and by the way, this is my intern, he's still learning. He could learn some great feedback from you guys if you just take a moment to scan this code. We're here to help each other, and if you feel like you need help, turn to the next person and say, what's worked for you, or can you help me with this? Just show me some tips or tricks or how to approach that conversation.
I don't know. I think it's easier to ask the nurses that I have good relationships with, and they're more willing to fill it out. And I think at this point now they know that we kind of have to ask, so they're more willing to just take a few minutes and do it.
There's a lot of delayed gratification, I feel like, in medicine, and this is something that you can ask the question and then see right away what your feedback is, and more likely than not it's really positive. So I feel like it's just also a really good confidence boost. So I just look at it as a way of saying, okay, what things am I doing well, and what things can I do better, so that next time I ask for feedback, I have all positive things, That's probably the only thing that I would say.
I think the other thing I like to point out to interns or just any resident in general, that it's really helpful to collect this feedback and go back and review it. And it's not always from a learning standpoint, but sometimes maybe you're just having a really long rotation, you're feeling almost burnt out or just tired, to go back and see some of the positive comments that families have left for you. And I remember EBS saying too at one point during one of our blockheads that if the only people you're asking for feedback are families that you've had positive interactions with, that's fine. You're still getting feedback. And I think sometimes that was another issue for me is like, am I tilting the scale too far in the happy direction? Should I be trying to get more feedback from people that have had maybe not the easiest situations or run-ins with? And I think that's totally up to the individual. It's okay to lean on the positive experiences exclusively, so don't fault yourself for that. But also, if you feel comfortable to stretch your neck out and maybe get some information back that you might not want to hear, that's a good opportunity for growth.
It gets easier the more and more you do it. So the more you ask for feedback, the easier and easier it gets to ask for feedback.